Just Talk Black Show. Disclosure Statement. Disclaimer. The views and opinions shared on the Just Talk Black Show are those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the show, its sponsors, or affiliates. This show is a space for open, honest, and respectful dialogue within the Black community. Some conversations may include sensitive topics, strong language, or personal opinions that are intended to spark thought and encourage positive change. Listener discretion is advised. All guests are responsible for the accuracy of their statements and agree to participate voluntarily. By appearing on the show, guests give permission for their audio, video, and likeness to be recorded and distributed across Just Talk Black's platforms. Let's talk real. Let's talk truth. Let's just talk black.
Real voices, real talk. This is the Just Talk Black Show with DJ Purpose. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp. Every story, every struggle, every win we claim. We speak it loud, but respect on our name. Yeah. Let's talk black, we shine, we grow. Building up the people every Thursday on the Just Talk Black Show. From pain into pride, let the whole world know we're unfiltered, unite. Just Talk Black Show. We speak on the struggles, we celebrate with voices from the block to the boardroom within. Our stories connect us, it's deeper than chat. It's love, it's respect. Just Talk Black Show. Just Talk Black Show. Say it loud, let's talk black. Just Talk Black Show. Rise together, let's talk black show. Yeah. Just Talk Black Show. Oh yeah. Just Talk Black Show.
Hello guys and welcome back 2026, here we go. So just saying a big hello to everybody out there who's watching today. Just a big shout out. Wow, we have a crowd of people online today, and I'm just saying 2026, here we go for the Just Talk Black Show. For those who are new, please do subscribe. You know, when you do subscribe, it helps the channel as well, pushing it out. And those thumbs, get those thumbs liked up, you know. So today it's just going to be me, but you can phone in, you know. You can literally phone in. And the topic we're going to be talking about today is how we can grow as a Black community. So you can see the phone line at the bottom, which is 07471539533. So that is basically it, guys. You can call in today. Come on. We need some phone calls today. And I was literally speaking to some people today about this topic that I'm literally going to be doing today. And they said they're going to call in. So I am expecting those people who said they're going to call in to literally call in. And let's have this discussion. Let's talk about this. How can we move forward as a Black community? How do we do that? Well, let's start off with me. How did I grow up within the Black community? And what did I see growing up as in the Black community for me? And what was it like? So when I was growing up in the Black community, for me, it was about family. And, you know, in my generation, it was about family. It was about the church life. It was about the community. And it was about the elders, you know. The elders watching out for us and looking after us and guiding us and teaching us and always showing that love and care towards us. That was me growing up at the time, you know. And yeah, the community was very important for me back in the times. Very, very important. It shaped me to be the man I am today. Especially the church grounding helped me along the way. And yeah, just the elders were there for me. So, as I said, the phone line is open. If those people do want to call in, you can call in straight away. I'm just going to open it. Straight away. But before I literally do that, I just want to show you this, guys. It is my new company that I have started, which is the Black Men's Brotherhood group. This is a WhatsApp group for the Black men out there. So if you are a Black man and you would like to connect with other Black men out there in the community, this is the space for you guys. This is the space for the Black Kings. You know, this WhatsApp group has been started from last year, December. We started it 2025. We started this. So literally last year just gone. I started this up and I'm telling you, it's blowing up. It's amazing. The guys that are actually in this WhatsApp, you can see the unity in that room. It's really, really good to see that as Black Kings, we are coming together. We're supporting one another. We're encouraging one another and we are growing together. So let's start off with some first sort of stuff. Let's look at what was the first moment I realized that unity wasn't guaranteed within the Black community. So that to me was when I saw that unity wasn't guaranteed within the Black community. That's for like one another looking out. When it got to a time, I suppose, when I saw an online trend. So the online trend of movies, social media, those sort of stuff I saw. So on with the social media, it was like the hate gets sort of the most outcomes. And I don't know why that is. Why is it that something bad happens online, everybody's like, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see that? But when something good, people are hardly praising that. So social media to me was the divide of the unity, especially for the Black man, with the violence, with the gang crime, with the drug scene and everything like that. To me, that's when the poor pit of it, and it might have started before that, and I'm not saying it didn't start before that, but from my own personal view, what I saw is that social media had a big key in dividing us as a Black community, especially when it comes down to relationships. I see as well a big division online when it comes to the Black man and the Black queen. And that's something that I would like to definitely see us definitely turn around. How has pain shaped the way showing up today? How has the pain showed me, you know, and how has it teach me? Well, for me, my pain that I've gone through in life, being in the Black community and stuff, and what it's taught me is that we need to heal. There needs to be a lot of healing. Absolutely, within the Black community, there needs to be that healing needs to take place. I mean, I've had some people on the Just Talk Black show who has been talking about healings and traumas and what we're facing as a Black community. I think that is part of it, where we're fighting one another. When we come into relationships, we are fighting one another because of the traumas and certain things that we've been through in life. So where does that unity come from? It's definitely broken down through a lot of traumas that Black people ourselves have been put through. And I'm not just talking about slavery time, because, you know, slavery time, which is very important. But I can see as Black men and Black kings and Black queens, there's a big fighting going on between us. And a lot of it has social media to play on it. Social media is telling us and filling us with information, to me, that is not correct. You know, so that is one of the big things. What's been part of my journey do people misunderstand the most? I think people always think that I'm confident and that, you know, I've got it all together and stuff. And I would say that's one of the big misunderstanding that people think about me, that I'm confident a lot. But it's not that. I think through my confidence and through my struggle, I have built that confidence as well. So through struggling and through going through things in life, it's helped me to build that confidence as well. So I do struggle with it, but to me, it's built through my pains and through my strugglings that I've gone through. And I can see within the Black community, we've got a lot of pain and we've got a lot of struggling that we're going through. And I believe that that pain that we've gone through and we're going through right now, we need to turn that pain around. Definitely need to turn it around and use it to our advantage. Use it to basically move forward as a Black community. Let's move forward. You know, we need to do that. we need to start moving forward as a black community. And you know, for my question out there to people out there is, how do we move forward? How do we move forward? You know, and yeah, I can see people putting it in the chat, but you know what? The phone call would be so much better, you know. I really do think social media has played a bit in it, you know. Or do you think the elders have shown us the rights? I think it's both. I think it's the elders, you know, and I think it's social media. I think it's both, and I think it's a plan. It's a plan of things that being put in place to hold us down as black people. It's been there for a long time. There've been systems in place that is being put in place to get the black community down in a way, to make us fight, to make us struggle, to put the drugs and the guns and the killing and the violence and the hate within that community. You know, there was an experiment that I talked about, and I always talk about this experiment, that there was mice, and they had mice in a maze, and they gave the mice they gave one set of mice good food, good light, good everything. They could get through the maze. They gave another set of mice bad food, bad light, bad water, bad everything. They struggled to get through the maze. So then they swapped them around and turned them around and put the bad mice into the good environment, and then the good mice into the bad environment. And you saw the changes. So the good ones who was able to get through it wasn't able to get through the bad, wouldn't be able to get through the bad maze. So when they swap them around, you could see it's a play of environment. So that to me is the biggest thing as well within social media, is how we are set up in society and where we are placed and what's in place, like the betting shops, the 24 hours shops that are selling alcohol and those sort of stuff. But you know what? As I said, please do feel free to call in. This is a conversation. I know I'm here today, I'm live today, but I do want people to call in, you know. For those people who did say they were going to call in, I am waiting on your call, because I know we had a conversation and one person was talking about government and how black people, we need to show up in government. So that will be a very interesting topic to really talk about. Black people, are we in government? Are we pushing to get more in government, to get our votes and for people to hear us out? We need to get in that place. So I would like that person to give us a call so we can talk about that actually topic, you know. That would be a very, very interesting topic. So what's the biggest thing that hold us back as a black community? I think it's unhealed. We carry pain, a lot of pain, and pain turns into basically division. So we're diverting, we're not being together as one. We're separating. There's no unity, you know. So unhealed traumas, and we've talked about this. There's a lot of people that's come on the show and literally just talked about that. So that, I think, hold us back as a black community. There is so much pain within the black community. So much people I've spoken to on the Just Talk Black show that has given their stories of things they've gone through, relationships, how they've grown up in foster care homes, and how they're growing up without a father. So there's many things within our community that does affect us, you know. So that's another thing. I think we have to try and heal traumas, you know, especially for anybody who is going into relationships. And if you're going into a relationship, two people who have unhealed traumas, you know, that could be a bombshell, you know. So please, you know, get healed. We have to start looking at ourselves individually and asking the question, are we healed? You know, are we suffering from maybe traumas that we've gone through past experience, and are we holding on to them? You know, so we need to look at these sort of stuff within the black community. You know, let's look at why do we struggle to support each other? Supporting one another. Why? Because support requires patience. And patience requires an emotionally safe place. Many of us never had that. Okay, we've got a call. Hold on, give us 1 minute. Let's bring this caller in. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. You're live on the Just Talk Black Show.
Hello, Junior.
How you doing?
DJ
How you doing?
Purpose.
How?
I feel like I'm on a delay runtime because I've got you talking about something and then you're talking to me.
No, okay. Well, if you just go on what we're talking now on the phone and not actually on the thing, yeah, that would be wonderful. So I know me and you was having a conversation. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Okay, and I want to bring that conversation that me and you was of having, because that is a very interesting. We were talking about government. Do you want to give us a bit of what you were saying to me?
Yeah. Firstly, I just want to just say well done for what you started in 2025 with the Just Talk Black show, and just to congratulate you on what you're doing for the Black community.
Thank you.
That you're giving a platform to individuals and companies who we would never have known about.
And
appreciate that. Well done for walking in your purpose. No pun intended, DJ Purpose.
That's
unapologetically.
Right. Come on, definitely have to
so
be
well
that.
done to you. Well done to you. You know, and keep it going. 2026 can only get better.
So come on, let's talk about what we're talking about. Where we're talking about the government. You spoke to somebody and they gave you some very good information, and I want to share that with the audience today.
Yeah. So I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, and who works within policy, and she was sharing with me in terms of the lack of representation, or if there is representation, the lack of suitable representation within government when it comes to discussing issues that impact the Black community. And the insight I garnered from that is when other communities, say for instance, the Asian community, Indian community, even the Jewish community and the Muslim community, just different community groups, when they speak to government and they need something done, because they have constituents that they encourage to maybe vote in the same way that they vote, or they also contribute economically to their local area. So say, for instance, through their businesses, through like shops and, you know, whatever it is they're investing into their local communities, you know, they are heard. And so my question to my friend was like, so what's going on with the Black community? And she was like, well, when, for example, when it was the Windrush scandal and they had to discuss that in government, she said that it was brought, but the representation wasn't great, and the quality of representation wasn't good. Wasn't as good as it should have been. And the issue is that we were thinking about our local area and thinking, well, who are the lobbyists? Who are the voices in the local area that are representing the Black community on a governmental level? Now, I know we have MPs, Black MPs and councillors within our local community. A lot of them at the moment are backbenchers. But I'm talking about community groups like that drive the narrative, community groups that are able to bring people together in order to be able to have a one voice, so that there's a place for people to go to for like advice or a task force, a Black task force that can be heard on a governmental level. And I don't know. I'm thinking, well, where is that? And if it is there, I don't know about it. Maybe we don't know about it. But our voice at that level where the decisions are being made, where is it? Where is it?
That's right. So we need a representation in government. Is that what you're saying? We need more of this. Somebody who can speak for us. Someone that when we're going through troubles, maybe in our council homes or certain things within the community, we've got that outlay. We've got that person that we can really go to. Or have we got a company out there that literally can take care of these sort of things? You know.
Absolutely, and even like I'm not talking about from the politicians that are there at the moment, because we do have Black politicians. They are backbenchers and maybe they're not as influential. But I'm talking about the local person, the local person within our local communities, within our local Black communities, where we're building up these task force so that we are able to bring people together and our voice can be heard. Because when decisions need to be made about who's going to get that building over there or who's going to be able to deal with these issues that are affecting the Black community, look at our Black and Black knife crime. Who is really, I know we've got pockets of great things going on around the country or even around within London, but really and truly, how is that narrative being pushed even more and more? Like if it was a narrative from another community, like from the Muslim community or the Asian community, they know how to push their agenda. They know how to push their narrative. How about us? Who's pushing our narrative to make sure that we are being heard every day, every week, every month, to make sure that it's not just a one-hit wonder like a Black Lives Matter, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's no issue, so we're quiet now until the next one happens.
Yeah.
Where's the consistency? And that's what I'm talking about, is those kind of local grassroots task force that will be almost like the Black Panthers, like in America, we talk about the Black Panthers, right?
Yeah.
And they were like that task force that were like doing, I know obviously it's a bit controversial sometimes, but they were the voice,
They
right?
was the voice of the people, yeah.
They were present, they were seen. Where is that within our Black community from a political, local governmental level? And I just think that it'd be great to hear from people that are already doing great things on that level, and how can we now maybe participate
and support
within
them.
that. Yeah, so
Definitely.
we can be at the table with decision makers, right? Where we can be at the table where there's policy that needs to be discussed. We can be at the table where things that are affecting our Black community, they're hearing us, and not only are they hearing us, they're doing things about it, because we have that level of representation, which is excellent. So that was really it, DJ Purvis.
Definitely. Just a quick question. So for us to really do that, and is that part of being like a unity? We have to have unity to do that, in a sense. And I get what you're saying, but in realistic, do we have to have, is unity realistic, or is it a romantic idea? So unity to me, it doesn't mean an agreement. It means shared direction. So that's what I believe as Black people, that we have to have that shared direction. We're not always going to agree, because your opinion might be different opinion from somebody else. But I believe the core starts in sharing the same direction. So exactly what you're saying in having that core people there. We need people 100%. Who has that same direction, who wants to go in that same direction.
100%. And it's about alignment, aligning our resources, aligning our brains, our minds, aligning our purposes together. Because there are things happening, but it's very segmented. Yeah. And the thing is, what your show's doing, you're bringing people to light. Like, I never knew about probably 99.9% of the people that are doing these amazing things in the Black community until your show started. And it's amazing. And I know you've got some amazing ideas going forward, and to bring the Black community together, and hence the reason why you're doing this show tonight as well, for us to have real talk about it. But it's also about mobilizing, aligning. Let's keep identifying who's already doing what, because if you've got someone that's already got this kind of political, agenda in the Black community, or that political passion, bring us along. Bring us along so it can become stronger. And you're right, unity, that alignment. We can't keep year on year saying, oh, that's why the Black community don't prosper. That's why the Black people don't do. We've got to stop talking like that. We've got to kill that narrative, and we've got to we've got to be able to now revise and recreate the narrative, which is positive, which is talking about the things we want to see, rather than the things we don't see. Let's talk about it. Let's go and find those people and call those people to the front that are doing these things, so that we can be part of it, and stop talking our Black communities down. That's a big thing. We talk our Black communities down. Oh, the people in the shop can't stay open. Oh, look at the shop closed down. And see, that's our Black. We need to stop that narrative. It's killing our community.
Definitely.
It's killing our community. That shop should never close down. There should be able to be a task force or somewhere they could go to say, you know what, I need help to stay open. and we go and support our black people.
And that's
you
a key.
know?
That's a key thing that you're saying. Support that unity and having a black business that we can go and generate and put money into and support and do it consistently. Not just today we're going to say, oh, we're going to support a black-owned business, and tomorrow you're not supporting that black shop. You're going to another man's shop.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a consistent thing that we're doing, you know. So just quick question for you. I know I'm putting you on the spot here, you know, but what's one truth that we need to accept to move forward? What's one truth do you think that we need to accept to move forward?
One truth we need to accept to move forward.
And if you don't know, I could give you that right now.
I want to use the word trust.
Trust.
We need to learn to trust each other again. They've killed it. They've made us distrust each other in our black community. I believe it starts with trust. And I know that there's other communities where they've let each other down, but there's this principle that can't be broken regardless. Where people, do you know what I mean? And I think we need to start learning to trust each other again.
And that's so true. That's so true. And one of the other things that we need to know is that no one is coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save us. But we can save each other. That's as simple as it, that nobody ain't coming to save us. This is what we have to do. And as someone say, great topic, you know, I recently done a video sparking on the core issues that is plugging our community. And it's time to generate some solution, you know, and I'm a strong believer of that, of action, you know, of action. How can we move forward as a black community, and what do we need to do? And as you said, I think we need to get these people on, maybe on this platform, Just Talk Black Show, so we can identify of who these people are in the community who are doing good work, but it's not getting the airspace that our black community do not know about these people that are doing the wonderful work. I know there's a guy who goes around and he helps, I think there's a young guy goes around and I think he helps. I remember something where it was a black girl got beat up by a couple of white girls or something like that, and he went and represented and them sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But to know where to get hold of him from, these are the things that we don't. We're on a page and it's like we have the dots all on the page,
but it's not joining up.
But it's not joining up, and that's our biggest problem. We have all these amazing people within our black community, but the dots are not joining up.
Well, that's where your work that you're doing is central. What you're doing for London and beyond.
Definitely,
you know?
Definitely.
And so it's central to as that individual that's going to bring people together.
Yeah.
You know, companies, individuals, and so forth. You know.
And definitely, and that's a mindset that we need right now. That's a mindset we need. We need that mindset. It's not me, but it's we.
Yes.
And the progress is a collective thing. So we need to come out that mindset of just saying, you know what? It's just me and I'm just doing this and I'm just, no. We can't have that mindset. We have to come together as a we.
Yeah.
You know, and I know there's people online that's watching, and I want to ask some of those people who are putting questions and saying, you know, in the chat as well. I want those people to think. I know there's some wonderful people online right now who's watching, who's got wonderful things to say. But Alicia, I'm going to keep you on a little bit, you know. I'm going to keep you on.
Let's keep up the good work.
No,
you took me out my comfort zone, right?
I know I took you out your comfort zone, but I'm going to keep you on. I'm going to keep you on, you know. I'm going to keep you on. With me, you're going to have a conversation.
Tonight?
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation.
We're gonna have a go back to prayer meeting.
You got to go back to prayer meeting. All right, you go back.
Listen, 2026 has just started, right? I'm coming back. Don't worry, bro. Right?
Don't worry. I got you. You know what? It's always good to have you on the show, and it's, you know what?
Thank you so much.
And I just want to say a big thank you to you, because you are one of my biggest supporters out there who have supported me in 2025, and you know we got bigger things coming, and you know, definitely.
Amen. Keep up that good work, bro.
Trust me. Thank you for your support. Love that.
Take care. All right, CJ. All right. Perfect. June.
Take
Bless
care.
You.
All right.
Bye.
So that's a caller in. But I want to get the next caller in. If you're out there, you're watching, listen, this is all about people calling. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. This is what it's about, having these conversations. I love the people who are putting in the chat. and commenting, but give us a call. We need you to call in. Let's hear from some of the callers out there. Let's hear from some of you. The number is, I'm going to bring it up on the screen, which is 07471539533. So you can take a screenshot of that. Give us a call in. How can we move forward as a Black community? What do we need to do, peeps? What do we need to do? You know, what's one steps listeners can take this week for a solution? So having an honest conversation without interrupting or being defensive. Just listen. And that's what I think most time as Black people, sometimes we get defended too quick. So one thing we can do as Black people, start having an honest conversation with people that we love, maybe a family member, maybe a cousin, maybe an auntie, and learning this sort of skill of listening. Listening is the key. I was talking to someone about 2 days ago, and we was having a conversation, and they were saying to me that somebody's come to them and told them an issue and told them a problem. And I said to them, you know what it's about? And basically what happened, those two people ended up arguing. And I said to the person, you know what it is about? That person just came just to air out their problem. But sometimes they just want to air their problems out. They just want you to listen, you know. They just want you to listen. So sometimes I think that's a key skill that in the Black community, we need to have that communication. Communication skill is so much needed. And I could tell you, I've met a wonderful woman in 2025 who has been helping me to understand about communication. We've been learning, and she's been showing me a lot of things about communication and how to communicate, and how as a Black man you need to be open. And I've learned a lot from this person, and I know she's listening, so, you know, a big shout out to that person. She knows who she is. Communication is a key, people, and we need to have that within the Black community for us to move forward as a Black community. We need to be able to listen without getting defended of what a person is actually saying, and without judging as well. And how do we heal without reopening wounds? Well, this is another one. Sometimes wounds can be opened by words that we are saying or actions that we are doing. And I think the only way we can be doing this is by moving slowly. Moving slowly to so that we don't open wounds that people are traumas or things that people have gone through. Because as I said, within the Black community, there's a lot of traumas. There is, I mean, since I've been doing this show, it's been showing me of how much traumas that people's been going through, and as little as a 5 and a 6 year old of what they're going through at the time at a young age. You know, through this show, I've just learned so much of how my eyes have been open so much, in a sense of what people go through in their life, and the traumas and the things that how they've experienced in their family and in the community and within the church. I've had a conversation with someone about church life and how they got affected by the church. You know, so that's another conversation in itself. You know, what is the church doing to help these people who have been going through traumas and stuff? So that's another thing that we need to look on. But I know there's a person out there, and I want you to phone in. You know, I know you're saying you love the communication is the key. I need you to phone in. You said you was going to phone in, so please, 877, please call it in. I want to hear your voice. The people need to hear your voice. You are a Black queen. You've got a lot to say. I know I spoke to you today, so please give us a call in. People need to hear your voice. I know you're coming on the show next week as well. You know, but I need you to call in. We had a conversation. So these are people I've had conversation, and if you haven't had a conversation with me anyway, you can call in. And I'm going to repeat that number again, is 074-715-3953. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show.
Greetings. How are you doing?
Greeting, my Black queen. Come on, tell us.
Hey.
You know, we've had this conversation, so come on, let the people hear, because I know you've got a lot to say and words of wisdom is coming out from you, definitely.
Oh man, pressure. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
Come on, there's no pressure here. No pressure on the Just Talk Black show. You've got a lot to say. You have, and I know you have. You know, so how can we move forward as a Black community? How can we heal and how can we move forward? How can we get to that place?
I know, right? There's a few things. I think I'm not sure if this has been mentioned already because I was only just able to jump on. Greetings, everybody. When you say that question, the first thing that comes to me is identifying where the trauma is or how much trauma we have. I think when we identify or understand the trauma that we are working with, then we can look at ways we can start chipping away at it. Because there's different levels to it, I think, depending on who we are and how we are. So yeah, some people are not ready to deal with their traumas, and that's okay. Some people are more than ready, but just don't know where to start, right? So for me, I would say let's find out where the trauma lies and sits in our emotions, in the way we communicate with ourselves, the way we feel about ourselves, how we put a mirror up. And the mirror is, how is my community of people reflecting back at me? You see, like, yeah. So I mean, looking at myself and where I might be challenged with certain things. I don't like to use the word problem because I feel like problems can be seen as unfixable. But when I see it as a challenge, I look at it as a thing that I may be able to work and overcome or work through it. Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense. 100% it makes sense. So what's a daily, what do you think a daily habit that can help us grow in unity? What would you think that would be?
I think we need to, there's a few things. So we live in like an individualistic society in the West, and I think community is a powerhouse potentially. It has its disadvantages too, but I think in general, as a community coming together as collective can really empower us.
Yep.
So a daily practice that I can say is like individually asking myself what kind of emotion, what's my emotions right now? What's driving this particular emotion, whether it's sadness, anger, like relax it, whatever emotion, it could be good, could be bad, could be indifferent. Every so often in the day, just asking yourself, what is it that's driving me? And on a day-to-day, from a community perspective, am I checking in with those loved ones who I relate with, who I'm close with, who I'm maybe not so close with, and who don't mind me checking in with them? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe asking them if they've got space to talk or they want to talk. Do you want to listen? Because I think has to be a bit of a give and take. Sometimes we have people in our life that do like to take. They probably don't even realize they're doing it. And just being upfront and honest and saying, you know, I've not necessarily got the space for that, or, you know, let me just deal with what I've got to do, and then I'll come back to you. Just make sure you do if you can, or if you want to, and just being honest if you don't.
Yeah.
Honesty and authenticity, I think, is key.
Definitely honesty and consistency. I'm going to put it out there to you. I'm going to tell you about how do I think we can grow as a Black community and move forward as a Black community. I think it's definitely what the last caller was talking about, is having that place where a company or someone in government who represents us and moving forward. I don't think within the Black community we have an organization like that at the moment that is really pushing us out there as a Black community, and that we're getting into these forefront seats of government and stuff. So when government are making those decisions, that we're getting heard. You know, I also think that is a place of nobody's coming to save us. So what do we need to do as a Black community? And this is not for everybody. We have to be honest. We have to be open. We have to have this conversation about it. Is that not everybody is on the same page of saving the Black community. We have to be honest about that, I think. That not everybody's on that same page. And what we need to do as a Black community is get to the point of who's on the ship and who's not on the ship.
Mm.
Who is going to be on this ship and who is going to start setting up core sort of things. So we need our own Black schools who can be teaching our culture. So we don't lose our identity of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start owning businesses, not just hairdressers, barbershops and those sort of stuff. We need more than those. We need literally more than those. We need our own banks. You know, I know there's a couple of banks that are out there, but they're not pushed as much out there.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have certain conversations that when we're having these conversations, actions are taking places, just like how we're doing now. You know, those sort of conversation that people are also connecting to the right connection of people.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to start as well running a lot more businesses, because if we don't start opening up a lot more Black businesses, we are getting left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went down somewhere down, I'm not going to say which part of London, but I went to a part of London. And I'm telling you, I went to shops like Next, Tesco's, what was it? Sainsbury's, I think, somewhere else down there, JD Sports. And in these shops, I didn't see one Black person. I saw only a certain community. I'm not going to say which community it was, because, you know, that is how it is. But in this part of London, there was no Black people within that facility. And that facility was like a car park facility where many different shops, so you had the Argos, you had this, you had that. But when I walked into some of those shops, I didn't even see one Black person in those shops. So I think that what we need to do is start teaching our kids about entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see a lot of Black queens out there who are doing very good things, who are building wonderful businesses, absolutely wonderful business, and on platforms like Instagram and social media and all those sort of social media platforms. But I think that it needs to be connected, as we're saying about the dots on the pages. They need to be connected. You know, and I don't know what your thoughts on what I'm just saying. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think to start off with, we could potentially start being cognizant about where we're spending our money and potentially looking more for Black organizations or companies first, whether it's accountants that we're working with our own businesses, or whether it's like anything. It doesn't have to be, it could be just anything. Keeping that pound within our community, it can move a lot. If we talk with our money, it can definitely work. And it has worked in the past, but the momentum can kind of dip, but it can rise up again and stay up. But I agree. I mean, the politics side of things, yeah, that can work as well. I'm just wondering about these particular systems. I'm not sure. There are a few politicians in London that are doing some really great things that I've seen online with the community and the support that we need and our voices being heard. So I love that. But yeah, let me just say that I think there needs to be more in other cities around the country as well.
Definitely, I definitely think that it's needed. But the only thing, as I always say, nobody ain't coming to save us. Nobody ain't coming to save us. This is the thing that we have to take on the forefront of ourselves. And, you know, if there's organizations who are listening who feels that, you know, that the organization are doing a lot out there, you know, give us a call on the Just Talk Black show. Let's connect, because it's about connecting, it's about bringing, and it's about getting those companies out there to other people. But I do think there needs to be some sort of hub that this is under. And, you know, I'm not a person who just always want to just talk about how we can move forward as a black community. I believe that I do have a solution. I do have a solution for that. You know, I'm not going to really air it out online, but there is a company, people can check it out, that soon will be coming out this year. It's called My Black Solution. And My Black Solution will have solutions. I'm telling you, that company I am bringing out is about joining every organization, black organization. People say it's a directory. No, it's not a directory. It's more than a directory. It connects all the dots together. I'm just going to leave it as that because, you know, I can't give away too much out there. But I think...
Power to that.
Yeah, definitely. I've come up with that, and I've had that in the pipeline, and I've been working on that for a long time. I do think as black people we need that hub. There's many black events out there that are going on, and you never get to hear about it. And that's my question: is why? Why is it that when somebody puts an event out there and it's a good event, why is it that half of the black community don't hear about it? And that's because, I'm just going to put it out there, that's because some of them on Eventbrite, and when you go on Eventbrite and you're looking for black events, you can hardly find it. It's hidden.
Right.
The algorithm, certain things just hide it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need a platform that when we put on events, it's just there. There's no hiding it or anything like that, because there's so much amazing people putting on conferences and certain activities that is empowering the black community. But I always get from black people out there, I never hear about them. We have to ask the question, why? Why is that? Because are we relying on other companies who don't really have us at the forefront of them, are not putting us there?
Mm.
You know, but is there anything else you want to say? Because it's lovely always to have you on, and I know you're coming on next week, you know, so you coming on next week? Is that yeah?
100%. I would be honored to be on the show. So yes, I look forward to it.
Just tell people who you are and what you'll be talking about next week, because I think that's important.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay, so people refer to me as Nikema. My trade is cognitive behavioral therapy. It's a type of psychotherapy. So I work in the talking therapies area, where I work with people who have common challenges with either stress, anxiety, depression, PTSD, different types of anxieties, whether it's social anxiety, health anxiety. And I work with them to make them either feel more like themselves, feel more balanced. So yeah, I've been doing that since 2013.
Okay.
And I'll be sharing a lot more next week. If you guys, I'd love you all to plug in and be part of that show and all the other shows that this platform has to offer.
Definitely. You know, is there anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for having me on, unless there's anything else.
No, that's been a blessing to definitely have you on. Definitely.
Get you too, DJ. I'll continue watching, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming on the Just Talk Black show. I love that. I absolutely love that. You know, definitely. Thanks. You know, and the show's really coming to the end, you know, so if anybody quickly wants to give a call in, the number is 07471539533. You can call in and have your say. How can we move forward as a black community? How do we do that? So if anybody wants to give a call in, please do, because as I said, the show is really coming to an end now. But another thing, how do we disagree without destroying each other? That's our next one. I think respect has to come first. Definitely respect has to come first out of that. And then once respect comes first, ego needs to be last. That definitely needs to be last on the list, you know, so that's it. But also as well, how can we move forward as a black community as well? I think the black men them have to take a forefront in what we're doing in the community. what I've seen by starting the Black Man Brotherhood, there's a lot of black men out there who are crying out for help and crying for a space and want to feel comfortable to talk about the issues and the problems that they're going through. But also we need to take our place in society. We need to have that place that we can express ourselves as black men and be the head of the house and help and, you know, be a forefront for the younger generation to have a look at. We need to be represented in schools and all different organizations we need to be representing. And that's one of the things that the Black Man Brotherhood is trying to promote and help black men out there, push them to the forefront and saying, you know, we as black men are standing. We're not going to be standing for violence. We're not going to be standing for the drugs and these sort of things within our black community. And we need to, as black men, start building businesses within the community, start helping out people in our community, like the elders who are alone and have nobody to talk to. These are sort of stuff that we need to do to start building that relationship and that trust within, for the black man to the black queen. We definitely need to start building that bond within our community. You know, some of the times I hear about black women just saying how black man is this and vice versa, black man saying, you know, black woman is like this. We need to stop that. We really need to stop that. And we need to go back to history and understand who we are as black people and understanding that when you see your sister, she's a black queen. And when you see your brother, he's a black king. Go back to history and understand them. And I always say to people, let's forget about slavery days in a sense. When I say forget about it, you can't totally forget about it, but we're more than that slavery system. Go back to where we was kings and queens and we had lands and we had people who can just heal us through normal medicines, through herbs and those sort of stuff. And, you know, trading that we did with other countries, that what they wanted from us and how they can only get it from us. Go to Africa right now. We're one of the richest countries. And people saying Africa is one of the poorest countries, but I'll tell you what, most of the resources, where they're coming from, Africa. So these are the things that we need to educate and teach people of the prideness of who we are as black people. And when I say black people, I'm not just going to be saying, you know, you're Jamaican, you're African. Black people and us as one. We are one. No matter even if you come from Africa, no matter if you come from Jamaica or Barbados or anyone, anywhere like that. We have to start remembering that we are one. The separation thing of countries and Jamaican man are like this and African man are like this. No, we need to put that to one side and come together as a community and just see that we are one people. And until we can come together as one people, that's where we will struggle. Because the African community will do their own things. The Jamaican community will have their own things. The Trinidad people will have their own things. But together, we need to come together and start supporting one another. You know, needs to happen. And yeah, we need to start putting more about culture. We need to bring back culture into our community and teaching it more and teaching it from a young age. You know, I know there's some companies out there who got board games and they're teaching kids from as young as 5 or 3 about who they are and certain languages and certain things, what it means. And, you know, those are definitely sort of stuff, you know. So we're saying we need to educate and support the young black people in our community. Definitely we need to do that, you know, so important, definitely so important. But again, we're saying we need to do this, but we need to promote it. We need to have that platform that is really plugging it out there so every black person knows where to go to find this sort of information. We need to have, as a person was saying before, that organization that is at the forefront, that you know that if you need any support or anything, that organization is going to be there to be at the forefront. So if you're going through a housing problem, and your local, your local council is not helping you. Now you could go to this black organization and they've got lawyers and they've got certain people who can help you on your case. This is what we need. We need to start building and connecting us together as one. We're too scattered. And that is what it is. It's about, divide and conquer. That's how they conquer us, dividing. We're too divided as a black community. We need to get back together and be united. So then when things happen, we've got lawyers, we've got doctors, we've got this person, we've got that person. You know, the Indian community, when they buy their shops, who's the one who's fixing up their shop? Their own people. Who's the one they've got in their shop? Their own people. So this is what we need to do as a black community. As I said, put that money back into the black community, but definitely also have, you know, many different things. What's the person saying? Let me see. What organization that are up there that can help with our community? Hold on 1 minute. Hello, you're welcome to the Just Talk Black show. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show. You are live on air on the Just Talk Black show. So how can we move forward as a black community?
Hi, DJ Purpose and all the other listeners. I'm just listening to the show. Phenomenal show as usual. And you're talking about how can we move forward as a black community by being unified and in one accord. As you said, we're so scattered and so diverse. We don't have one common purpose, and that's the upliftment of our black community. Most of us just want to do our own things. And I'm so happy that you're actually doing a platform. Oh, sorry. I think I've got the other phone on as well.
It's all right.
So, yes, as I was saying, at the end of the day, we are so skilled and we've got so much in our hands as a black community that most of the other communities are actually afraid of what we have, and they're always working to keep us divided, because once we recognize who we are and we actually come into our purpose and we actually start doing what we're meant to do as kings and queens, they will actually not be able to keep us subjugated, which is what the whole purpose of this is. So you're doing a one-stop solution business is great, because it is putting all those things together, ensuring that all the different platforms, different businesses within the black community are actually in contact with each other, and people know where they can actually go to get the assistance and the help that they need. I mean, you talked about Eventbrite and people looking at black events. We did have something that started a couple of years ago with, I think it's Paul Lawrence and someone else on the 100 Black Men of London, which was the Just Ticket platform, where you can actually book tickets and do all the things that you do on Eventbrite. But sadly, Paul Lawrence passed away.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that.
Yes, so he's passed away a couple of years now, but no one's actually continued with that. We had the Black UK directories, which was actually a list of all the black businesses within the UK and showcasing some of the pivotal businesses that we can actually see what was going on and how our community was growing. That was actually swallowed up, I think, by Yellow Pages or something else. So as soon as we have things that are actually leading the way, what you'll find is a mainstream will actually get involved and swallow it up. Yes.
Yep.
And this is where we need to be actually very discerning and actually say, you know what? Some of the other races, we need to keep things within our community. We are very good at welcoming everyone in and saying, yes, we welcome you, take part. While other communities say, no, we're building platforms for our community, we're uplifting our community, and we're helping the next generation to actually be entrepreneurs, business owners, and to be elevated educationally, etc., etc. But we are, we have to go back to slavery, and it was basically divide and rule.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. And that's what is still happening now. And this division doesn't work, because it cannot work, because we cannot be fruitful. If we're distrusting of each other and not wanting to cooperate and work with each other, we can't work. And that's what we're finding. But I work within the community, and I'm actually seeing so many different organizations doing fabulous things. But as you say, it's actually getting everyone together and in one accord and saying, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this. How do we connect the dots so that we know exactly where people are at, and when people need assistance, advice, help, we know where to go.
Definitely.
I mean, I was very fortunate over the weekend to actually see a building that a young Black entrepreneur had shown me. He'd shown me the mock-up, the architectural mock-up several years ago. And I actually walked into the building over the weekend because his vision had become a reality. And this is a young Black man.
Wow.
Yes. So there are people doing things.
Yeah.
It's just knowing where they are and putting each and every one of us in contact. So we need that directory. We need that solution, because otherwise we are just flittering around saying, okay, I want this done. Where do I go? And how can I buy Black?
Yeah.
How can I support the Black community?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what it's about. It's about that thing of connecting that dot. And I remember there was a diagram, and the diagram was having dots on the page. There was another saying of it, and that dots basically became a spider web. And when the dots was on the page, it connected it and became a spider web. And what that spider web literally done, a lion walked into it and it trapped the lion. And that's how powerful it was talking about, that when you connect the dots together, it can even bring down a lion, because that power of that spider web, and that's what we need to do as Black people, as you're saying, connect the dots and have the dots connecting and working together as one. And what people also have to understand is that there's space for everybody. There's space for everybody. I remember talking to someone, and we went out and we went to a restaurant, and I told the person, I love being up high. I think it was on the 39th floor, 50th floor, one of those things. And I looked out and you could see the view of London, very nice view of London. And I said, look at that. When you come up here, you get to see how many people, and this is only a little spot of London that you're looking at, but how much thousands or millions of people in this one little area that you're seeing. And when you see that, you're thinking, how big is the world that if we all come together, there's enough space for everybody to thrive. But they have that mindset of thinking, I need to do it by myself. I need to keep that organization and not collaborate with other people.
I'm not sure that's entirely true. A lot of people do want to collaborate, but what it is because they've been burnt.
Okay.
Maybe once or twice.
Once or twice, yep.
Yes. And then the mistrust is there.
Yeah.
So it's us actually
healing.
Healing, yes, and trusting each other and actually saying we can do this.
Yeah.
I recently went to Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa to help with some rebuilding of houses there. And I tell you what, I actually saw communities working in collaboration. Okay, yes, it was because of the hurricane and the destruction and devastation that it caused. But what I saw was a man actually taking leadership.
Yeah.
And actually saying, okay, we are the men here. We are going to operate as men and we're going to take the lead. And they were just absolutely brilliant. I mean, overall, it was a woman who had gone into the community and say, we can actually rebuild this. At that time, the government wasn't doing anything, and she'd gone in and inspired the people. But once they got inspired, everyone just got on board.
Yeah.
And it's the inspiration and the leadership that we also need. We need sound leadership. We're also scattered at the moment. And as you say, so and so, A's doing this, B's doing this, C's doing this. But when you gather everyone together and you connect those dots and you actually say, you know what, A can help you with this, B can help you with this, C can help you with this, then we're a community.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
Community. Very important. Very important.
It's like this old saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Child. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to get back to. Exactly what you said, that community within, even if it's in a small area, for example, South East London, then you do one in North West London, then you do all over, and that community comes together as one. You know, but it takes people to step out into the forefront and saying, I'm going to do this. I'm literally going to take the lead. It needs somebody to take the lead and say, now I want to bring the black community together, because we can talk about it. We can talk about it a lot. And that's the thing, people say we talk about it and we're never moving forward. But my thing is, and my goal and my mission is to see us as black people back to the place where we need to be and coming together as one in unity.
Yes,
so that's why I do give this platform and air to everybody, like within the black community, to give them that space to talk about what they're doing, because I believe that there's so much people out there that don't get heard.
And that is so. And you know what, is having a plan. People actually getting together, having a plan and strategizing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't plan, the old saying is, if you fail to plan, you fail to fail. You plan to fail.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's not just getting up on a whim and saying, I'm going to do this, this, and this. It's actually saying, okay, who are the leaders in the southeast? Who are the leaders in the north? Who are the leaders in the west? Let us sit together. Right? It's like a war room, isn't it? We are going to war. We are going to war in our community, business war, entrepreneurial war. We are going to strategize. How does it work? We know how business advocates have actually said, this is what you need to do. This is the blueprint. Okay, so how would it work in our community? What do we need to tweak in our community?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Our culture is different, so it's not everything that every other community says that will work for us.
Yep.
But we can use their blueprint along with our blueprints, and we can amalgamate them, and we can actually say, okay, what can we do that? We've done it before, Black Wall Street.
Come on, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But do you see, the only thing is, when we start to rise as a people, we have jealousy amongst other races. And they can't tolerate that. So how do we navigate that we still continue to rise? Because I see communities that things have been given and taken away when they started to build, but people still continue to rise. Because the ethic is also discipline and work ethics. Yes, as long as those with a plan are in place, guess what? We're going to do it.
Definitely.
But there needs to be a concrete plan, and a plan that everyone is following. And they need to be the discipline to carry out that plan. And also, it's, as I said, leadership. It's not dictatorship, it's leadership.
Leadership.
Yes. And leadership that with sound communication, because you know what, we're not all right. But what we do is we communicate about the plans, and then we're able to put steps in place. How are we going to do this? And if the community has, the community is engaged and they're part of the plan, then guess what? The plan works better.
Definitely. 100%.
So,
100%.
So that's my small contribution on that. But you know what? United we stand, divided we fall.
Come on, that saying there. Powerful saying, absolutely powerful saying. You've got you're doing stuff for Jamaica. Do you want to let people know what you're doing for Jamaican stuff quickly?
Okay. So I am part of a group, and it was basically Rise Up and Rebuild. And there were 5 of us that went to Jamaica in December. and we just wanted to see how we could actually help during Hurricane Melissa and actually see for ourselves what was going on. So, can I drop names?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, you can drop names.
Okay. So this was organized by my mentor, Nikki Sutherland, and a few other of us within the group. So we basically did fundraising, and we went and we took care packages, but we also were able to actually help people to rebuild their houses in Jamaica. So we spent a couple of days there, but we actually saw most of the island. We went to St. Elizabeth, Parakeet, Westmoreland, Maypen, all over, especially the West Coast where the hurricane had really affected the people. And we actually saw so much devastation. It wasn't, let's just say, the news and what I saw on social media didn't actually capture it as much as seeing it for yourself, but the resilience of the people of Jamaica. I will tell you what, as they say, we're little, but we're Talawa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And when communities come together, they can do so much. I mean, in Parakeet, I saw Dr. Bridget, and she was literally helping the community to build one house a week. So on a Thursday, about 50 workmen got together and actually built a shelter for someone who had lost their home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on. Community.
So community.
Powerful.
Absolute community. And even seeing, and I'm telling you, this is when it is a powerful thing when men rise up
Come
and
on.
do what they need to
Need to do.
Yes, I mean, we were there on the beach looking at looking at the night coming down, and we actually realized, because we'd driven so far, we'd driven with a full tank, but because of roads being blocked, we had to do diversions, and we're on a beach, and the men were actually, when we realized we didn't have enough petrol, were sucking petrol out of their cars to put into ours and escorting us back
Powerful.
to a petrol station. The men, when the night was coming down and the mosquitoes started coming out, were spraying down the children.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
One man was telling us how his wife, she's disabled, a wheelchair, electric wheelchair, had gone, was taken in a hurricane, and he had to be running with her, a disabled, and his 7-year-old son from house to house. But the fact that they were there, men, women, and children, when we got there, and they're saying, you know what, this is what we've done today. We're actually doing a rebuild for this woman. She's pregnant with twins and she's got 4 children. This is the house that we are building for her. This is a house we're building for this disabled man. Yeah. We were able to help people to replace their roofs that had been blown off. Yeah, I mean, we saw one lady, as she said, when the tree came through her roof, it nearly hit her cheeks and she had to literally move. Yes. But out of that is the strength and the resilience of the people.
Yeah.
That stood that stood up so strong. Yes. And Jamaica will rebuild, and with that resilience that the people have, will definitely rebuild. But it's not even the rebuilding; it's how to prevent further damage from further hurricanes.
Pains, yeah.
Yes,
That is the key.
prevention is always better than cure.
Cure, definitely.
Yes. And to see driving around the island and seeing the devastation. I mean, when we went to some hill and gullies, and when you see trees falling, it wasn't even one tree falling by itself. It was like 9, 10 trees falling together. The devastation. But there is an opportunity to rebuild and to help the people of Jamaica. So we are going to go back to actually see. We've actually, in that week we were there, we actually helped 4 people to rebuild their houses.
So
And
is there a page that people could donate towards, or how do they do that? Can they do that, or?
yes, they can. So what I will do, if you don't mind, I haven't got it in front of me now, is I'll forward that to you,
Yeah,
and maybe you
then
can put that on your platform that people can donate to, because we will be going back again.
Yeah, which definitely I
And we
think
will
is
be doing
important.
a lot more, and other people go in, and other people are helping, and I think together we do so much more, because we even linked up with some doctors from Canada and from the United States, and we're able to do some work with them as well. So it's collaboration.
Collaboration.
Rather than doing individual work, it's collaboration. We all need to collaborate as a community.
And that's the key point that I'm getting from this whole conversation, is that the community coming together. When we do come together as a community, how we can rebuild. So that can start from today. As a community, we can start rebuilding and building that trust among one another, and start building where we are in the UK and becoming a force to reckon with. You know, we have to start that. And definitely what I'm hearing also as well is when the men take their place in life and start fulfilling and walking in their purpose. And I'm just finding that in a sense of, when I started my company, the Black Men's Brotherhood, it was a thing of, I was thinking of to start it and then not to start it. And then, you know, I spoke to someone and then I just started it. And I've seen the power of when Black men stand together and unite. I've seen it in that community of how powerful it is that Black men are encouraging one another. There's no bad animosity in there. They're getting on with one another. They're encouraging one another, and you can feel the strength and you can feel the power. And that's what I want to help Black men to get back to, that place that we are at the forefront. We are doing our work in the community, and not just in the community, but also in the house. That we are taking the forefront and helping and being that man in the house and supporting our Black queens as much as we can in life. But definitely taking from what you're saying, and I just appreciate you for definitely giving your insight. I've learned so much just from that conversation alone of, you know, about how powerful you just showing how powerful when we do come together as a Black community, and what is happening in Jamaica is so powerful, definitely powerful. You know, so thank you. I really do appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you. I didn't even introduce myself.
Yeah. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself? Quickly introduce yourself.
Okay. So my name's Andrea, and I'm also known as Proverbs Money Coach. Yes. But what I would actually say from a spiritual perspective, it says in the good book, one will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000. So when we get together as a community, there is power. And that's why the general society has always tried to keep us apart and divided, light against dark, men against women, and so forth, because they know the power of unity.
Definitely. No, I appreciate that, and I thank you again for coming on the Just Talk Black show. Please do send me that information, that where people can donate. I can literally put it in this video after, and I just really appreciate and thank you for coming on to the Just Talk Black show.
Thank you very much for having me. I wasn't intending to come on, but someone said something and I thought, no, I need to add a little bit.
No, I appreciate that, definitely. And that's what the Just Talk Black show, it gives that opportunity to anybody. You know, I really do appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Take care. Bye. And that's it. So I'm going to literally leave it open for another call. I'm going to literally give someone literally 2 minutes to jump on. So if you have got something that you want to say on how we can move forward as a Black community, that line is 07471539533. And I'm just going to give it literally 2 minutes because we're coming to the end of the show. So if you do have something to say, I will give you that airspace, even though we've got literally 2 minutes before I end, but you can come on for a bit longer. We'll give you that space for you to air of how we can move forward as a Black community, you know. And this is definitely a topic that I want to do more of. The next time I do it, I want to bring a lot more solutions of how we can do it and how we can go forward, and bring into my company on next time when I talk about this subject again of the My Black Solution, because I believe that we might have a problem in our community, but what's the solution? There has to be a solution for every problem there is. There has to be a solution for that problem. I'm a true believer of when we go through things in life, okay, we're going through this. This is happening in our life, but what's the solution? Or why are we going through this? Is it because we have to go through this to get to this solution? You know, and many people, you know, out there who's going through trials and tribulation, what can we do to get out of that? What do we need to do? What can we do? So I believe in solution, and that's why I called my company My Black Solution, because I think the black community, we have the solution, but we also need to do the action. Actions always speak louder than words. That's I'm a true believer of that. You know, starting 2 companies already and just putting the action in, not just talking about it, but literally doing action. And that's thing I think as a black community, we need to do more as that. But I'm going to ask the guys out there, just quickly get those thumbs up in the chat. You know, please do like this. So everybody who is listening, even if you're away from your TV, your mobile phone, just take 1 minute, quickly 1 minute, just rush to that phone, laptop, whatever it is, tablet, and just push that like button. Let's get those thumbs up. What that do, it pushes this video out today, which I think many people do need to hear. And I'm also calling out anybody who has a company, who wants to collaborate with me, who wants to move forward together as a black community. Get in contact with me, you know, and let's see what we can do to move forward as a black community. I mean, we're having discussion today, but I want there to be a solution. I want there to start being action. I don't want to just talk about it and say, well, how can we move forward? I need to see action, and I want to work with people. So if you want to work with someone like me, please give me a call, or you know somebody who might want to work with me, and let's start getting in our communities. As black men, let's start taking our place, and let's start protecting our black queens out there. Let's start protecting our kids out there from these knife crimes and what's going on. I mean, I think someone in Southeast London, a young boy's life got taken. You know, as black men, we have to say no to this. We really have to start standing up and taking back our streets off these youngsters and these drug dealers and saying, nah, we ain't accepting this. This is not right. You know, you are more than being a drug dealer. You're more than being a gang member. You know, as black men, we need to show them that they have a place, they have a home in. And that's why, again, Black Man's Brotherhood, which I will talk about, is there for the young black boys and black men as well. We are going to be starting this year the Young Black Kings, which will be helping the young black boys to show them that they're more than just being on the streets or the road, what they call it. They're more than that. They are kings, and they need to realize that. So we want to help them to go further in life, to become entrepreneurs, to start their own business, but also to understand their culture. So I'm just calling out to any company out there, if you are watching this, or anybody do know any companies that wants to start working and connecting the dots together. Give me a call and let's see how we can work together. And that's what I'm about. I'm about us moving forward and doing actions. Actions speak louder than words. So I left the phone line open. Just quickly again, get those likes up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. It will be really appreciated. And I thank you all for watching the Just Talk Black show. Really do appreciate you guys always supporting the Just Talk Black show. We've got bigger things coming this year. We've got definitely some powerful guests who are going to be talking about many different things on this show. And if you do want to be a guest on the show, the same number again, 07471 539 533. That is a number that you can basically get in contact with me. Easy process to get on the show. You give me a call, tell me what you do. I will send you an application form, fill that in. Then I'll invite you for a 5-10 minute test to test your webcams and your internet connection. And then we'll set a date for you to come on to the show. We are no longer doing pre-recorded shows because it's just going to be live from now on. And 7:30 is our time every Thursday. You will be seeing some panel discussions as well throughout this year as well. So panel discussion with 5 to 6 people maybe on the show discussing many different topics. But again, thank you for coming to the Just Talk Black show. And I'm going to quickly show you our social media where you can find us on. You can find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you also have our number. And the Just Talk Black website will be launching this month as well. So you can find us on the website as well. And that's it, guys. I really want to say a big thank you to you all for tuning in and watching on the Just Talk Black show. Really do appreciate you guys, and Happy New Year. And thank you for always supporting the Just Talk Black show. Have a good day.
We've been here before. Still standing, still dreaming. Came from pressure, came from pain. Still we smile through the rain. History heavy on our backs, but we're more than what they say. Mama's prayers in my blood, generations in my name. If we hear what's deep inside, we can break another chain.
If I reach my hand to you, would you reach back too? We don't need permission, now we already through.
We move forward, side by side. No more walking alone, building futures from the ground, turning scars into move forward, heart to heart, black love leading the way. If we rise as one people, a better day will stay. A better day will stay. We don't all think the same, but we bleed the same color. If we learn to really listen, we can live one another. Ownership, education, healing minds, liberation. Put the money back in roots, that's the real conversation.
Teach the youth who they are, show them kings, show them queens. Let them know their worth is real, more than likes on a screen.
We move forward,
Hand in hand, no more breaking apart. Community is power. When it starts and we move forward, this is us, writing futures brand new. When one rises, we all rise, that's the truth. Thank you for watching the Just Talk Black show. Real voices, real stories, real conversations.